Welcome back, Challenge Monday. I'm excited about this. We are going to be talking about staying focused because a lot of times we have dreams, we have goals, we have things we want to do, even just our smaller plans within a day. And it can totally get sidetracked because we have a hard time staying focused because things interrupt. We have distractions. We have all different kinds of things come into our life, change of plans, or somebody gets hurt, or a friend needs help. All of these things can happen, and it happens within our business day too. When we have a situation with our business, we might, we are focused, we have a project that we're working on, and we have a deadline, and all these distractions get involved. We keep trying to get to time where we can focus on the thing that we're trying to do. Maybe you're trying to write a book, and everything gets in the way. You can't seem to take the time to just sit down, focus, write the book, the hours that you were planning to write. This happens in our relationships. How many times have you been on a date with someone and they get on their phone? Might be your spouse, or you're with a group of friends and you were planning to spend a certain kind of time together, and then people get on their phones, or something happens and someone has to leave the situation to go take care of a problem. Life happens, but there are some things we can control. Some things we can't, and some things we can. So we're going to talk about how, staying focused. So the first thing I want to talk about is what we need to do, because if we don't even look at a plan, then it's super hard to be focused. We don't even know what we're focusing on. We don't know why we're focusing. So the first thing I want to talk about is do something about your goals. You've got to have a goal. If you don't have a goal, you don't know where you're going. I know that there have been times when I am running 100 miles an hour because I'm so excited about what I'm doing with my business, or with a project that I'm working on that may be business or maybe outside of business. And it's almost like I'm running in circles until I realize, oh, I didn't really have a set goal. What exactly was I trying to accomplish with this? So once I have a goal, now that gives me a lot of answers. I've got direction, I've got a vision, I've got a purpose, I've got a lot of things in place now that feel solid simply because I have a goal, simply because now I know what I'm doing, and I am now able to communicate that to the people who I work with, or to the people in my relationship that I'm interacting with, that I'm connecting with about this situation. The second thing is do something about the distractions. If you just let the distractions keep happening, then you'll never notice a difference. You'll never feel like, oh, I'm having a change. I'm finally moving forward and progressing on this. Now, like I said, there are some distractions. You can't do anything about it. There are some things you can't control, but there are some distractions that you can. You can plan for them. I can remember I had some major dreams and goals with my business. I was taking things to the next level, and I kept feeling like I was getting distractions. So I wrote out I had a business plan. I knew what I was doing. I had those goals, but I didn't really have goals for my time. And I was needed in every different direction. I was getting invited to speak in different locations. I was invited to podcasts. I was having all of these experiences and opportunities. But because I didn't have a solid goal with my time, I ended up getting swept away in different directions. And they were exciting things. They were fun things that in the moment I'm thinking, okay, that can grow my business. Well, that can grow my business. But once I sat down and I created a plan for my time, now all of a sudden I could see really clearly where the distractions were happening and what was wrong with what was going on. And I remember something that shocked me. I had planned out my time really well, and I've done this. I do this with my clients. I've done it for years. I've done it in so many different ways, and I have honed in on a way that works for every client I've ever worked for, maximizes time, literally helps them get 10 times the amount done in the same amount of time, not being rushed and harried, but because things are organized, because we have a goal for the time. And so I did this. I have experience. I had created this whole thing, and all of a sudden I realized something. Number one, there was something that wasn't working. And number two, I was able to identify it very quickly because I had created a plan for my time. And the problem was I had not left time open for emergencies or urgent situations that came up with people in my business. I have employees, I have an executive assistant who manage things, take care of things, keep things off of my plate in a million different ways. But there are still some things that only I can do, questions that only I can answer. Sometimes they need an answer from me, or there's a tough situation that comes up where I've got maybe one of my team members has a huge opportunity with a big client, and they feel like I don't know that I can close them myself, but if I can get them on the phone with Teresa, now we can close that, and that will change everything because I've had more experience. And so that becomes extremely important, and it might happen at a moment's notice. And so I was able to quickly identify, oh, I need to leave time in my schedule for that. The problem was I couldn't leave that time. I couldn't plan it for 4 o'clock, from 4 to 5 every day. Sorry, you got to have your urgent thing happening right at that time, because if you don't, I'm out of here. That is not the way it worked. I had to figure out a way to put it in my schedule. So what I did was I had things in my schedule, and I kept it super simple. I knew what my schedule was. I knew what I was doing when throughout my day, but I also knew that when an urgent issue came up, I had certain times of the day that I knew I could take it. So if I couldn't take it right that moment because I'm in the middle of writing content and I need to not be disturbed, then they knew, you know what, I can talk in an hour and a half, or I can talk at 3 o'clock, or I can talk at 3 o'clock today, or 8 o'clock in the morning, whatever that looked like. So I decided what my time looked like, and now all of a sudden, when those things happened, I could quickly put it in there, and I would just adjust the hours. Like the thing that was flexible, that if I did this call at 3 o'clock that was unexpected, whatever I had planned for 3 o'clock, I would adjust it to the emergency time I had put, because I left an emergency hour every single day in my schedule. And so that way I was able to adjust things. Now, if I had not figured out a plan for my time, I would not have been able to identify what the distractions were, and I wouldn't have been able to change it so quickly. So that was huge. The third thing that I want you to do is I want you to do something about sleep. You have got to get enough sleep. Now, some of you are going, oh, that's no problem, I'm great at that. And some of you are going, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I know. And for me, life gets so exciting. And I have so many things that I'm excited about that the time gets away from me. And whether it's business or whether it's my own personal projects, something with my grandkids, something with my spouse, I get so excited about it that I end up staying up late because I want more time. It's like I think I'm stealing time, but the reality is I'm stealing life from me. I'm stealing my focus from me, because when you do not get enough sleep, you are going to struggle having the focus that you need, and you will get far less done in the same amount of time. If you will just allow yourself to get in bed, go, make sure that you make sleep a priority, then all of a sudden you are able to focus in the hours that you are awake, the hours that you are trying to get those things done, the hours that you are trying to achieve your goals. Now, what do? I'm going to give you 5 things that you can do that will help you focus. Number 1, minimize multitasking. I know we like to make a big deal about how I'm so good at multitasking, but research has shown over and over and over again that when you multitask, as soon as you distract yourself from one thing, let's say you're writing an email, and somebody texts you, and you think that you're so good at multitasking that you can work on the email, quickly go answer that text, and then now you got that done, so you didn't leave anything on your to-do list, go back to the email. They have proven that it takes about 17 minutes to get your mind back into hyperfocus, where you are super maximizing your time and just go, and you're getting it done super quickly. So if you stop what you're doing to distract yourself with something else, because you think you're multitasking, I'm telling you right now, you are wasting your time. So minimize the multitasking. The second thing I want you to do is meditate. Take time in the morning, or if you're taking a break in the middle of the day, take time to meditate. Stop and let your mind rest for a minute, so that when you go back to focus, it feels energizing, it feels good, it's not tiring, it doesn't wear you out. The third thing I want you to do is move, 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 exercise. This is so powerful. You guys know about endorphins and you know about dopamine and you know about all those things. You've heard it over and over and over again about how when you move your body, it shoots the right energy signals to the right cells so that you can be focused. It helps you stay focused. Obviously, a myriad of other things as well, but right now we're talking about focus. The fourth thing I want you to do is I want you to use your mental muscles. Train your brain to focus. If you have a hard time focusing for 10 minutes, then I want you to focus on trying to get, like let's say you're okay at focusing for 5, but beyond that it gets hard. Then try to focus for 6. Give yourself little bits of time longer and longer. If you think that you never do push-ups and you don't know how to do push-ups or you're not strong enough to do push-ups and you think you're going to go and do a push-up and do even 10, that's not going to happen. You've got to start a little bit at a time. What happens is you build those muscles. They really do work like your physical muscles. When you start to use them, they're going to get a little bit sore. You're going to feel a little bit tired. And then what's going to happen is little by little, you're going to gain strength. You're going to be able to focus longer and longer and longer. And the fifth thing I want you to do is take meaningful breaks. That could be the meditation, but a meaningful break means you're not just distracting yourself and then you call it a break. What that means is you are taking a real solid break to go do something enjoyable that you want to do. Whether you take a walk, short walk, you take a short hike, you go and read your book for a little while so you can veg and not think about what it is that you were working on. Make sure you take periodic, meaningful breaks throughout the day, and you'll be able to focus better. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to pick one of these things that you're going to work on this week. Mine is going to be about sleep, okay? Because I'm living in Armenia right now, which is halfway across the world from where my regular life used to be, and my family, and my work, my business, my employees. So guess what happens? Their nighttime is my day. My nighttime is their day. And so it's really been a struggle to try to make sure that I'm not going to bed too late, because I'll do my regular day here in Armenia, and then what will happen is it gets to be nighttime, and people where I'm from, where my original home was in America, they're starting to wake up and they're starting to do things, and I have things I want to ask them or that they want to ask me, and so we're trying to get business done with our investments. We have to talk with our business partners. So I've been struggling to getting to bed on time. My goal was to get up at 6:30 because I like getting up early, and 6:30 is good for right now, but it's not working very well because I'm up a little later on the back end taking care of some of those things at home. So I realized, okay, don't push it in the mornings. So I've changed it to 7 o'clock. There have been times in my life where I'm getting up at 5 or 5:30 because that's what I'm energized to do, and it works with the situation. But I'm adjusting right now. So what I'm going to be working on is making sure I'm getting healthy sleep at the right times, because I can go to bed a little bit later and get up a little bit later, make sure I'm getting enough sleep. But if I'm all over the place, I stay up super late one night and not as late, but then I get up really late and then I wake up early, and it's all over the place. That's not going to be as healthy for my body. So I'm going to be focusing on getting a good rhythm for for a priority for my sleep. So tell me what yours is going to be. Pick one of these things. Try to really work on it this week. Take that challenge and try to make a difference in how you were able to focus for whatever it is you're working on. I don't care if you have a business or you don't have a business. I want you to do it for your relationships. Work on it with your business, work on it with your mindset, wherever you are and whatever it is that is important to you right now. Now, one more thing I want you to remember. Don't just think different. Be different.